of them.
We have to figure it out. Let's pivot real quickly because I told you guys that we had a guy that's going to be dropping in real quickly. He got a lot going on this week. And this guy has a lot going on.
Glad to be in the front of the line.
Anyway, I was sitting there watching the Stephen A. show yesterday. I mean, first take. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, he just called my man name out as he always does. So I said, man, he's big.
He's big time.
This guy is huge. But no, he's going to do some big.
We love it.
And we love it. And he's a big time coach doing some big time things this week. And we're so happy to have back on the show Coach LeVelle Moton. Coach, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coach.
How y'all doing, man?
We're great.
All right.
Excited and proud of you.
What's up, big time?
Boy, good gracious. Working and stress. Anxiety, all of the above. Look, it's
no need to stress.
Man.
You got this.
It's nothing more difficult than trying to get a bunch of coaches on the men's side, coaches on the women's side, athletic directors and search firms together in one room at one time to find. Like, that's the hardest thing in the world.
I can imagine.
Look, it's hard managing a bunch of you.
Now you see.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Scott looking in the mirror.
yeah, that's a headache. We're a case study.
There you go.
A case study. What we talking about? If you're not aware, we're talking about Coach LeVelle Moton and Coach the Pittsburgh Steelers head football coach Mike Tomlin. They're putting together an unbelievable conference called Next Up Coaches Initiative, and really. Coach, when I first heard about this, you mentioned it to me. I was really excited. So give people a snapshot of why you and Coach Tomlin decided to put this initiative together.
Man, because representation matters, man. I say this all the time. In 2009, it wasn't really popular to have a young black coach as a head of your organization or program or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And in January 2009, I didn't know Mike then.
Right.
He won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And he won the Super Bowl. And 2 months later, I was hired at North Carolina Central. I didn't have a long resume, and I was the youngest coach in the country. And I'm a firm believer that the reason I got the job at Central was because of the accolades and the representation that Mike had. And y'all know sports and entertainment, it becomes a copycat league.
Exactly.
So I got an opportunity really because of Mike. Like, he set the ground framework, and he believed in it. And so a couple of years later, John Calipari introduced Mike and I, and then, we just became really good friends. And I go to training camp all the time. And then we were sitting in the dorm room one day, and he was like, it's crazy how close we are because, I'm a football guy, you're a basketball guy. But he had an affinity for John Thompson and John Chaney, right? And so he was really, he loved those guys, right? And then my mentor is George Raveling.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, it ain't what it used to be. And I was like, nah, people not standing for anything anymore. Like, these organizations that's supposed to advocate and support us, it don't feel the same. I said, so let's just go ahead and start something where we kind of sending the elevator back down and planting some seeds for some trees that we'll probably never see grow, right? Because that's what John Thompson and Nolan Richardson and Cheney and all those guys did, right? They weren't in it for money. But nowadays, these coaches make so much money that they ain't standing for nothing. It becomes a selfish, motivated business. And that's cool. That's what they do. But I'm more so in it to help people and the younger LeVelle Motons and the younger Mike Tomlin so they don't have to go through the difficulties and challenges that we had to go through. So in essence, we just personally invited like 15 coaches from the men's side, 15 coaches from the women's side. And it ranged from D2 to low major D1, mid major D1, Power 5 D1, Power 5 assistants, all of the above. And so we got all of them together. So that's like 30 coaches, and there'll be like 18 ADs and 8 search firms, right? And so we're going to go in the room, and, Mike's going to speak, I'll speak, Kevin Keats will speak, because he was the disciple of a program that was similar called the Villa 7, but it was more for the top assistants. That's how he went from prep coach to ACC coach, right? And so he benefited from an event that was similar to this. Ours is just specific for blacks and minorities, right? So we're, in essence, putting these coaches, we're giving them professional development, media training, job interview skills, and then we're going to allow them to interview and we're calling it speed dating, one-on-one time with the search firms and the athletic directors. So in 1 or 2 years, when those positions become available, they can say, look, this guy made a lasting impact on me. I like him. And that's how it is, right? And so, we're just granting them assets and opportunity, because a lot of times as minorities in this world, forget just basketball, the one thing we don't have is assets and opportunity. So we're just checking both of those boxes for them.
Wow. We're talking with head coach LeVelle Moton for the North Carolina Central Eagles, who's going to be hosting head coach Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers and others this weekend. This weekend. And, just talking about, the event, why you're having it, the structure of it, and the people that are coming, and then the experience overall. When you guys sit down and talked about it, you came up with it. Did you think it would actually take off as fast as it's taking off? Because I'm seeing you now. Stephen A. Smith is talking about it. Others are talking about it. People are interested in it, because this is one of the first times that I can remember that as a community of successful African American coaches and leaders gets together and mentors other African American others and leaders, and for lack of a better term, not hold our hand out and say, "Can somebody please tell us how we should work together?" So how is that working?
Man, it's to be honest with you, this is the first year I really had time to do it. Me and Mike discussed this maybe 8 years ago.
Wow.
Okay.
I was just too lazy, and I just ain't have time. And then he just ain't have time. Y'all know how it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
So you being like them coaches, you being like those coaches you complain about.
But it's just, I got so much going on, man. And then soon as, again, it's just hard to find that glitch in that schedule.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he's football. So even right now, he got training camp. We're
looking at him.
I'm looking at it right now on ESPN training camp.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So he's in training. He called me. He in training camp. So it's like, when do we do this? And then eventually you'll realize it ain't no perfect time. And y'all know this.
That's
If
right.
you want to do something, the worst thing people do is just talk about it, and they talk themselves out of doing it. So all you got to do is just put your foot forward. And I was like, man, let's go on and do it. He's like, let's roll, right? Because he was waiting on me, and I guess I was kind of waiting on him. So we said, let's just do it. It shouldn't take a tragedy in our country to collaborate and unite as one. And oftentimes that happens too much. God rest his soul. But George Floyd, when George Floyd happened, everybody's together and saying what we're going to do, and they checking the boxes of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and every organization and business is putting out a statement, and then when it's no longer a trending topic, they back to the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Or if you're North Carolina, they take it away.
Right.
Well, it's still there. They just took all the money out.
Yeah, exactly.
They just take all the money. Yeah, they just take all the money. Right? So, we need tangible outcomes, right? We need tangible things, not just conferences that's going to check a box and make somebody feel good. Like, no, in 2 or 3 years, I want someone to get a job.
That's right.
I want someone to get elevated because of this program that we created. And so, again, we're not discriminating. We're being as diverse with our demographic as possible. Nikita Warren, right? Y'all may know her.
Yes.
Doc Warren's daughter, or TJ Warren's sister.
Yes.
Right? She's an exceptional high school coach. Right? Yep. She's the only high school coach that we invited this year, right? Because in 2 years, she should have a CIAA job, right? So we're putting her on the radar of these ADs and presidents in the CIAA. Yeah. And so that's super important, but how does she get the assets if we don't grant her that? Like, if we don't give her the opportunity, who will?
That's 100%.
So we got to take care of people, man, because George Raveling took care of me, right? When he didn't have to, and he ain't want anything in return, and he ain't want a social media shout out. He just did it. And he, like, if you go to the Final Four, George Raveling always has a hotel room. And when you walk in that room, man, it's like 45 dudes.
Hey, Coach, I don't think you remember this, but we was with you as you was going up to that room back in Indianapolis.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's 45 dudes in there that he mentored, right? And I'm like, good gracious, like, right? And then he just, like, we're sitting down. He introduced me to Jerry Colangelo, right?
Yes.
You know who? Yeah, Colangelo.
Yeah, of course.
And then I learned something from Coach Rav. And after every time he meets someone new, right? He sends them a bottle of wine with a note attached to it. right? And it's called the gift of reciprocity. So when you send someone something, they'll never forget it, right? And so he'll send a note card that says, "Pleasure to meet you," and he'll send an expensive bottle of wine. Now, I don't drink and I ain't got that much money, so I go to Food Line. I went to Food Line and got the sparkling grapes, right? And I just meet people and I attached the note and I sent one to the Colangelos, and maybe a month later, I was with USA Basketball.
See,
right?
Wow.
So just learning those little subtle things from George Raveling. But if I ain't have that as a mentor, I wouldn't know, because most people think networking is going handing out a business card.
Building a relationship.
There ain't no network. It's building and cultivating those relationships and fostering. So Coach Rav, in every conversation on the phone, he said, he always ends the conversation by saying, "Is there anything I can do to help you?"
See, that's a major question
I just think that's golden. I just think that's golden.
Exactly.
Man, because especially in this world we living in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great way to end our segment. I was going to ask you two things. One thing is, is there anything that anyone can do to support this event? I know it's a private invitation, but is there anything that we can do, our listeners or anybody, to support this event?
Well, it's always sponsorship. I tell you that much, because we went in our own pocket now. Granted, Mike Tomlin money is a little different.
You noticed, huh?
It's like, it's about a comma or two off, and a zero or two off, right? It's a little different, but we funded it ourselves, right? And so tonight we got a mixer at a bowling alley that's just gonna break the ice and get everybody acclimated into tomorrow. It's the day of events, and obviously the food at the hotel, it becomes expensive, and the sign and the programs and T-shirts and all of those things become expensive. So to answer your question, if anybody wanted to sponsor, that would be great. And our corporate sponsor, let me shout them out. Creighton Blackwell with Coast Federal Credit Union. He's incredible.
Oh, man. You shout him out big time, man. His logo's right there on ESPN too. So he should be happy about that.
Yeah, I know that's right. I'll go tell him. So we need some more for ESPN. That one in the sponsors package deal. That's my brother, man. Yeah. So, man, everybody support everyone, man. And we're just so, when we realize that we're so much greater as a collective, and we support each other. That's true community, right? And we're yet to learn that lesson, but hopefully one day that light bulb will go off for all of us.
And let me tell you about your support. You reached out to me and say, "Hey, I want you guys to do your show over here on Friday morning," and you don't have to do that, but you always show us some love. And
Come on, man!
Thank you so much.
Look, man! It wasn't for y'all too, man. It was for Pam, man. It was for Pam.
I mean, that's I do.
Okay,
the group. It wasn't for y'all too big.
Well, hey,
thank you, my friend.
Whatever it takes, man. We're gonna be up in there.
They pimping me now.
They come back. Hey, I was just thinking, LeVelle, this about this time about 10 years ago. We played in Shiraz's tournament, and I got paired with Coach Moton. And I said, look, I'll tell you this story. I was thinking to myself, I said, man, damn, I got to sit in this doggone cart for a whole 18 and talk about basketball with this dude. We ain't talking about basketball one time.
We were too busy cheating.
Hey, my brother. Hey, congrats to you. All that you do, man. You are doing some great things, man. We so proud of you. We're gonna be there in the morning doing our show. Can't wait to talk to you.
Man.
All right, take care.
We'll see. Can't wait to see you. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you,
Coach LeVelle Moton. Let's draw on that, man.
Yeah, such a great guy.
That was one of the best rounds I had, man.
Hey, I remember you telling me that.
Man, we ain't talking about